All right. Hello again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaign settings set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting. So when I D&D games, send my D&D... It's been a day, guys. And the people below me are here. And my brain don't work. Announcements. First of all, you may notice Lillian is is a lovely owlbear today. There are some internet problems. Lillian may be joining us later, may not. It all depends on how the internet wants to work. So that's a thing. Other announcements. Look at this. Do you know what this is? This is an amazing book called The Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder by Kiri Callaghan. It just came out yesterday. And we are extremely excited about it. Kiri is a friend of mine and a friend of Imp's and a friend of everybody. Kiri is the nicest person ever. And her wife is super cool too.
Downloading it right now.
See, and he's got the digital version of it. It's real good. So
you can get the physical book. You can get the digital version. There's an audio.
Yeah, it's super, super awesome. So for the next week, I'm going to be advertising the hell out of this book for many reasons. Probably the biggest of which is I adore the Kiris, and I really adore her writing. Like that book up there, that's Alice the Terramirum Chronicles. I read that entire book almost in one sitting. It was that good.
We believe there's a book over you.
Yeah. Oh, they can't see it because of how things work. Yeah. Well, there's a book. It's Alice the Terramirum Chronicles. Changeling. I haven't made it through yet because my brain doesn't like me. But
looks like this.
It's pretty and it's amazing, and she's a phenomenal author. And so, yes, go out, buy Kiri's book. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. You can get it in your friendly local bookstore. You can go to your library and request that they get it. There's tons of different places you could do it.
Get on Libby. If you ask the library, you can get that.
It's
the first week of sales, so that we can get her on the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah.
I used my birthday wish on that crap. Come on. You have to.
Super cool. So, in addition to that, there's also some other really awesome stuff going on. Fabula Ultima is currently running a Kickstarter to fund a bestiary for Fabula Ultima and hardcover versions of all of their books. You can get softcover versions of them right now, but hardcover is just not something they've been able to offer until now. They funded their Kickstarter in like minutes. So, yeah. And then from that point on, people just kept giving them money because Fabula Ultima is amazing and the people that make it are amazing. They have officially passed €1 million raised, which was their final stretch goal, and they announced a bunch of stuff that they're planning on doing in the future. I made an entire almost hour-long video talking about all of it in depth, but the brief overview of it, they're planning on putting out kind of like a Dungeon Master, a Game Master's Guide style book that talks about like the thought process behind the design and everything like that, and some optional rules. They're planning on putting out 2 more bestiaries, which will be super, super cool. And then they're also planning on publishing what are called Fabula Adventures, which, for lack of a better term, are going to effectively be campaign settings that you can use to run your Fabula Ultima games in. And they're starting an international Fabula Ultima organized play program. And the interesting thing about it is Fabula Ultima, the designers and everything have kind of been against the idea of making pre-written adventures, because one of the kind of main purposes of Fabula Ultima is part of Session 0 is you and the GM and the players build the world together. So for this organized play program, which is going to include pre-written adventures, the way they're going to get around the idea of, well, that kind of is the antithesis of Fabula Ultima, is the world that the first season of Adventures is going to be created or run in is actually going to be created with the community. Apparently, Emmanuel, the guy that created Fabio Ultima, he apparently did this just in Italy using Twitch, and they basically built a world and then ran an organized play program just in Italy, because that's where he lives, not because he just likes, noodles or pasta or something. No, he lives there. Not to say that Italian pasta isn't good. It's amazing. It's wonderful. But so yeah, basically, it seems like he's going to try and expand that to a global scale. They're also looking for partners to do an English language actual play, which would be super, super cool. I have put forward that they should contact Hyper RPG, because surprisingly enough, they have experience doing exactly that. But we'll see. And they're going to be at GameholeCon next week, which is near where I live in the Wisconsins. It's in Madison. And I've been to GameholeCon before. It's a nice, it's a very nice convention. I got to see my friend Chris Perkins there a number of years. So, yeah, so that's going on. Critical Role had their first episode of Campaign 4 premiere last Thursday. Guys, when I say this is probably the best premiere episode that Critical Role has ever produced, please do not underestimate what that means. The first episode of Campaign 1 was chaotic, but it was very fun. The first episode of Campaign 2 was a masterclass in how to introduce characters and get people invested in the story. The first episode of Campaign 3 was just chaos and not very good. But this one blows them all out of the water. It was brilliantly done. There's a few characters that I really, really love. Whitney Moore's character is amazing. I think her name is it Tyranny? Tyranny, yeah. Tyranny is so good, and I love her. But my current favorite character is it Ivane? Luis's character? He plays a sorcerer paladin, and I want to know everything about him. I want to have dinner with him. Not like romantic, but like I want to have like brewskis and like sit down and just chill with his character because it's awesome. So yeah, it was really, really good.
Azune Nayar.
Yeah. It's going, the next episode is tomorrow. So that in and of itself is amazing. The Critical Role Kickstarter for, the Daggerheart class packs Kickstarter is still going on. Funding has kind of dried up. They reached their funding goal, and then because there's no stretch goals or anything, funding just kind of slowed significantly. So they're sitting. Last time I checked, they were sitting just under 200,000 US, which is fine. They were only looking for 100,000. That's great, but that is still a thing. And if you want to invest in that, that is a thing that can happen. The Scorched Basin.
I was gonna say, I think Ford and Jester's Wedding will be released October 15th.
Yeah, I think they just did the live show.
Yeah.
Was it this past week? Here's another thing that is not a statement that I think I was ever expecting to say. They did the live show at Radio City Music Hall. Radio City Music Hall. And critical, like, that's a nonsense thing. That's not a thing that should be a thing, and yet it's a thing, and that's very, very cool.
Hey guys, do you really think people are gonna want to sit around and watch us play Dungeons and Dragons online? That sounds kind of crazy. I don't know who will sign up for it, but okay.
And
Hey,
now
you want to
they're-
watch two nerds roleplay D&D characters and basically renew their wedding vows?
I do. I'm interested to see if Laura finds another person to romance, because she has. My personal theory is she's just working her way through the cast to basically marry every single person. Because Campaign 1, it was her and Percy. Campaign 2, it was her and her actual real life Tubby. Campaign 3, it was her and Marisha. Campaign 4, don't know who she's going to date, but a little pixie rogue would be adorable with anyone. So I think it. So I think it'd be really funny if she decided to romance her husband again, because giant cat, giant lion boy and tiny pixie girl is hilarious. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, that will be showing up eventually. The next episode of Campaign 4 is tomorrow, and they're also doing other cool, amazing, exciting things. Scorched Basin. I had a lovely interview with Homie and the Dude, which are the people that are making it. They're amazing. It is in its final day of its Kickstarter. If you're unfamiliar, the Scorched Basin is a system agnostic campaign setting that is incredible. It sounds so cool. They've designed their own magic system. They're including a bunch of different languages, including one that's actually based on American Sign Language. It's really, really amazing and fun, and the people that are making it are just phenomenally cool. So if you haven't backed it yet, go out and back it. I finally, because it's the next month and I have new money, I was finally able to back it myself, and I'm extremely excited about it. I can't wait to see what the final product looks like. So yeah, definitely check that out. Other stuff going on in the TTRPG world that anyone can think of?
That MGM Grand, Viva Las Vegas Dropout.
Yes, the Dropout is doing cool things. We really could just say, and Dropout's doing cool things again. And we really don't need to go into too much detail.
November 1st.
There we go.
That's when the actual thing will be taking place.
So yeah,
in Vegas.
Very, very cool thing that Dropout's doing in Vegas. Again, another thing that shouldn't be a thing. 100%. The fact that a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors just went to Radio City Music Hall and played D&D for an audience is nonsense. And Dropout going to Vegas to do the same thing is nonsense.
Well, and they were remember, they were also in New York City at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
They had pyrotechnics and shit going off.
It is a wonderful time to be a TTRPG player, because even if we just go back a decade, none of this stuff was going on. Like, D&D was still stuff that you did and were embarrassed about. And now Radio City fucking Music Hall. Like, ugh. It's crazy. All right.
I will say this one last thing.
Sure.
Because I want to because remember, this how the whole thing came around with Geek and Sundry and Felicia Day. Felicia Day has a new separate YouTube channel because she's doing the whole thing with like the content and making sure what goes where. Her main channel is like, she wants to keep it like vlogs, and she wants to go back to that. Her gaming side is going to be Felicia Day streams on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I just watched a vlog that she did talking about I think it was like the top 5 most terrifying things she did for the flog. And that brought up some memories. So, yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, all of this amazing stuff, you can kind of blame Felicia Day for a large part of it, because while Dropout was doing stuff before Critical Role was a thing, I do not believe that Dropout would be nearly as popular if Critical Role hadn't also become very, very popular. And all of that is because one day Felicia Day got pissed off that she couldn't get the roles that she wanted. And so she went, you know what? Fine, I'll do it myself. And she created this thing called The Guild that started off as just this little YouTube project and turned into something amazing. And it directly fueled the creation of Geek and Sundry, which then eventually created Critical Role and all these other amazing, wonderful things. So,
yeah. Felicia also has a new graphic novel that will be released March 17th, The Lost Daughter of Sparta.
Ooh, very cool. Felicia does cool stuff, guys. You should definitely check it out. Also, apparently, according to the vlog, apparently her daughter has inherited Felicia's ability with sports, which was confirmed when her daughter told her, "Mama, I don't want to ever be involved with anything that has a ball." So, congratulations. She has created another nerd. So, any anything else that I might be forgetting? No? All right. Then, I think it is time for us to return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party is preparing for war. After defeating the Dreamholder and returning to the secret resistance camp that had formed north of Middenwell, the party was abruptly surprised by a massive figure on the horizon. The Dark Lord broadcast himself to the entire land of Cruciatalia, telling them that this experiment had become a failure and that he was going to wipe out all life in Cruciatalia in order to start again from scratch. The populace of Cruciatalia had 1 week to prepare for the end. So hearing this, the party got together as many of their allies as they could, started formulating a plan. Some rangers went and got as much information as they could find, and the party started making plans. Apparently, every one of the cities in Cruciatalia is going to be attacked simultaneously. So the party split up and sent protectors to each one of the cities, hoping to be able to stem the loss of life and perhaps fight back against the forces of the Dark Lord. So, the last time we spoke, and the last time we played, we basically had a very long planning episode. Where do I have? I don't have it open. Just realized I don't have the cheat sheet that I need. Where are we? There we go. All right. So, you guys got together and basically planned the move me over slightly. There we go. All right. So you guys kind of planned who you were sending where and what to do when you got there. You guys have the better part of a week to set up defenses and the things like that. Is there anything specifically you guys want to do in any specific city, or anything you guys want to do for your character specifically? I think every single one of the characters is going to a different city, so what do you guys want to do? Please don't all speak at once.
Vala, I know, will spend some time with her sister,
Okay.
trying to, she's going to be like teaching her things as well as like, you know, At the first sign of trouble, ditch Uncle and just run. And he's like, "Hey, I'm standing right here. Like I know. Just
The
turn your
full
back
on,
and go."
the full on. It's okay for you to leave them to die.
Basically, yes. Like I know you want to help people, and that is admirable and wonderful, but you need to live.
Living is nice.
But
So, your sister takes to heart what you're saying, but you can see the adrenaline is already, like, despite the fact that you still have a little under a week before anything is going on, like, the adrenaline is already starting to kick in. And you can see her, for lack of a better term, kind of getting excited about the coming struggle and the fact that she believes that she's going to be very helpful. Yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to do?
I think it's gonna be really weird for Relwyn because he'll be coming back to Mizenford. Um, I think the only thing he could do is like coordinate with the people here. It's just like it's gonna be kind of weird because again he left here very scared, and he's always gonna have that. He's always gonna have that in the back with him. It's like, hey folks, it's not that hard to overcome trauma just over like what a month that he's been doing this. Um, but he does recognize like in his mind it's always been kind of like post-apocalyptic survival mode almost like surviving. So like look, people here are not fighters. What they know how to do is to hide. There are places here they know how to hide. Use that to the advantage. Can probably do it to some extent to these numbers. When we do let loose on them, I'm sure we can lean into that. Because who we have here is Kevin and crew, the warlock, the evocation wizard, and the deputies, along with the crossbowman and Felicity's father.
Okay. So,
So perhaps there's like there's things they can utilize in regards to that, in regards to how they want to attack, how they want to, if it's just going to be a straight out battle, or if it's going to be like
okay.
at some point a surprise attack
Yeah.
will become invoked, or several series of.
Well, to make this easier on me, how about when we, because what's going to happen next is you guys are going to pick a city that you want to start at, and then we're going to kind of go through the battle. So when you guys choose Meisenford, we'll talk kind of more specifically about everything going on there. Right now, all of you guys are in Middenwell, and
Oh, we haven't left. I thought we were in our own cities. Okay,
not yet. This is the prep work before you guys leave, and then
gotcha.
again, depending on how far, like Meisenford, you're probably only, because of how far away it is, you're probably only going to have like a day and a half, maybe 2 days tops, to do any sort of prep work there. Whereas the people that are defending Middenwell are going to have almost the entire week to be able to prep. So, hey Wolfie. So, with that being said, is there anything that you guys want to say to each other before you all kind of split up, or?
Depending on how things go, I guess we'll meet back here. Hopefully, if Midwell still stands.
Um, yes. I assume we will have one last meal, like a sit down dinner
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh,
where we're
Rowan's cooking that shit. He'll also, I mean, he'll do that as a morale thing for like as many people as he can. He'll orchestrate between and coordinate with like whoever here, because I'm sure Midwell we have like a pretty good setup.
Well,
I'm sure people came here with supplies.
Yeah. Well, let's, and again, Middenwell's the trade center, so anything you want, you can probably find it here. So let's kind of fast forward to that particular meal. The wagons themselves have been packed for the various cities. and the town itself is on edge. Like everywhere you go, you can feel this kind of buzzing in the air. You're as you kind of walk through the town, you can see windows being boarded up. You can see storm shelters and root cellars being modified and fortified, and you know, parents are showing their children, okay, when things happen, this is where you go, this is how you stay safe. And then eventually you guys all come back to the central tavern where you first had your kind of war meeting. And as you guys come in, unfortunately for you, Rowan, you've been there for the better part of an hour because you are catering a rather large meal for anyone that is available.
For Rowan, cooking is kind of therapeutic.
Yeah. The rest of you.
So it's harried, but it's harried, but he's still like he's actually pretty okay with it.
So the rest of you, when you come in, the first thing that you notice, you get hit by this wall of scents of everything imaginable. Rowan has taken out all the stops. There are various roast meats. There's baked goods. There are the freshest produce that they can find, cooked 7 different ways. There is this spread just kind of laid out of incredible amounts of amazing smelling food.
A lot of testing, like get the okay, 5 more minutes on this. Go over here. Let's just like that's too salty. Cut open a couple potatoes, put those in there, let it boil off a little bit more. Go over here. He's kind of giving instruction and
he is running his own army right now in the kitchen. In addition to all the food that Rowan is preparing, you guys see a rather impressive collection of wines and spirits and ales and fruit juices and really anything you could think to kind of wet your palate with. That is being overseen by some of the vampire lords. As you all kind of come into the building, you can start seeing people are kind of grouping up, and there have been the entire tavern has just been kind of cleared out of anything not necessary. And there's just tables upon tables upon tables upon tables. But you all have been given your own table near the front. So as Relwyn kind of brings out the final dish that he needs to be directly involved in, Relwyn, you suddenly feel some pressure on your little lower back as the apron that you've been using is untied, and you spin around and you see the proprietress of the tavern going, "That's enough. All right, you've done all the need. Now you need to go and sit down, have yourself a nice meal. I'll be able to take care of all this." And she starts trying to take off the apron. Go on now.
Gets on the horns like, okay. You need another 15 minutes on the stew.
I know. Just go sit down, have yourself a meal. And
he's like, he does that thing where he's about to sit down, like, oh, the bread. You have to.
For the rest of you, you are all kind of corralled to this table, and then you see the king and queen of Valakovia, and a decent representation from the Blood Council, kind of in the front. They have their own kind of long table, and the king of Valakovia stands up. Today marks one of the most impressive feats I have ever seen. These 4 amazing adventurers have brought together everyone here in order to stop the apocalypse. And as strange as it sounds, I believe they can do it. The next week, you are going to work harder than you have ever worked in your life. You are going to experience things that will change you. But when we come out on the other side, and we will, all of you will have a story to tell that is passed down through the generations. Your children's children's children will go, Mommy, Daddy, please tell us again about when they stopped the end of the world. All of you, no matter what your place is here, from those fighting in the front lines to those in the back, ensuring that everyone survives this, all of you are an essential piece of this. And when we come together next year, on the anniversary of our victory, all of you should stand tall and proud for the work that you have done, for the lives that you have saved. A chance like this does not come once in a lifetime, once in a generation. This is a unique experience that may never, if we are lucky, happen again. All of us will become living legends after this. He picks up a glass. To writing our own legend. And everybody raises a glass. Yeah, yeah. Downs it. Now, before we can write this legend, we must be fueled. So, enjoy this amazing meal cooked by the wonderful Relwyn. And he sits down next to his wife, and suddenly food just starts appearing on everyone's tables. You're not sure where the waitstaff came from, but they were there instantly, and they start bringing all these different dishes and things like that. What would you guys like to do?
Vala will just turn to the others and say, to the friends that couldn't make it. And toast and drink.
Yeah.
Clink.
Like,
Well, this will be our last night together for a while.
it will. I'm putting a lot of trust in you, Vala. You'll be on your own.
So many bad decisions. So little time.
You're going to become a fungal werewolf the next time we see you.
I mean, I've always been accused of being a fun girl, but no, I go knowing that if I make any stupid decisions or take any unnecessary risks, you all will find me and make me pay a stiff price. I'll be watching my back. Don't you all go making stupid Vala decisions without me, though.
No. I think it'll be okay. I mean, I'm just worried about my brother, but he also has your family with him, so I trust it'll go decently.
Yes, I hope everyone will be okay. I'm trying not to worry too much about everyone, but it's hard. The only benefit we have is that the Dark Lord is splitting his forces. trying to do this all at once instead of creating one massive force to steamroll everybody and attacking randomly. His hopefully his confidence in his forces will be his Achilles heel in this case.
His ego definitely does seem to be increasing.
Yeah.
And it's always been sky high, to be fair.
To be fair.
I have to ask this. What was he like? So you knew him before he became this?
Um, well, yes, we
But
encountered him
shortly, yes.
shortly before this happened. Um, he had well, apparently he had risen to power. The Blood Council had defeated him, and he had a laboratory underground where he was doing experiments to build this place up.
He had
Um,
like 4 wives.
yes, and he was holding my patron hostage. I For a long time I actually thought my patron. This is funny. For a long time I thought my patron was the Dark Lady. I was convinced that I understood her more than anybody else until I was reminded of the fact that Eldritch Blast is not a divine spell, and thus she couldn't have been. I was very mistaken. I found out that the Celeste, my patron, had been captured, and somehow I had gotten power from her. And the Dark Lord thought I had stolen something from him, and well, I used that to play with his mind.
Yes, he was rather narcissistic. He kind of had a god complex already. He, I mean, he was a vampire that essentially had a understanding of blood magic, which is some ancient form of vampiric magic. And it meant that aside from when he had to charge it up during the day, he was almost untouchable. But his 4 wives aren't exactly the most loyal. I actually don't know if he still has his 4 wives, to be fair. We haven't been to the castle. One of them helped us, is all I'm saying.
Sorry, it's just so strange to someone who is nigh unto a god and everything I've seen him do, everything he's done.
To break out an old chestnut, false god. He is not really a god, just a being of incredible power. But he has stolen that power.
It's made other people pay that price.
Yes.
Price he was incapable of paying himself.
Well, the bill is about to come due. Part of me wants to use Dreamwalk on him and try to give him a nightmare.
Yes, telepathically connect. That's worked out so well for you in the past.
I mean, it did work out in the end.
And kind of had to bust you out again.
I mean, I I had things under control. Mostly. Fine, I won't deviate from the plan.
Thank
We're
you.
going to have to create the spell MRI if you knock yourself out one more time.
Guys, it's fine. I can see both of them. It's fine. Where are these little birdies coming from?
Well, Artificer's going to make a CAT scan.
Where would you train the cats at? I've heard of service dogs, but not service cats.
Cats are very big with technology, apparently.
Hmm.
As the night keeps going, you can see the tavern itself is kind of a source of revelry. People are doing everything they can to kind of forget what's going to come, and so people are drinking in excess and laughing and telling jokes and forming bonds. As the night goes on and on, the mood starts to wind down, and this kind of unsettling stillness starts to kind of creep in over everything. Eventually people start leaving to get to sleep, and by the end, you four are the last people left in a mostly abandoned tavern. You've been given lodging for the night in the tavern, so you guys are welcome to leave whenever you would like. Anything else you want to say before you guys head off to sleep?
Um, when this is all done, we should meet up back here, to prepare for the final assault on the castle. If Middenwell falls, maybe the camp could be our backup site. And
Can I'm not sure if the depending on the location. Like it won't be very easy for me to cross the disappearing mists.
well, hopefully, the druids, I believe, are able to move us around. So,
Guess we better plan on success then.
we better plan on success.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll have to coordinate. We'll have to coordinate transportation with whoever's left over. But we'll succeed. Everyone meets back. If you don't, well then, I'll just have to make rash decisions and take risks, so you better all come back.
Of course.
The night starts to fade. You all eventually make it back up to your rooms, get as restful a sleep as you can muster. When you wake up, you all meet for possibly the final time, and then you all start going off. The question I have for you now: which city do we want to defend first? As a reminder, we have Misenford, Clausegate, Ebenthorn, Scornmote, Middenwell, and Ilmorn. And for you guys, Vala is going to Ilmorn. Liliane is going to Scornmote. Argenta is going to Klausgate. And Relwyn is going to Misenford.
I say we not do Scorn Mode because that's Lillian and all of Lillian's NPCs.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll hold off on that one.
Uh,
So, uh, just to kind of clarify for you guys again, since we've mentioned this once before we went live, and for the audience, the way this is going to work, whichever city you guys decide to defend first, if one of your characters is there, that player is going to control that character because you guys can do a lot more than the NPCs. Everyone else is going to get to kind of divide the rest of the NPCs amongst them to be able to control. And then when the battle starts, we're basically going to have kind of like a popcorn initiative style thing where you guys will roll for initiative versus me. Whichever side wins gets to go first, and then we keep going until one side is no longer there. So, with that being said, all of this is technically happening simultaneously. So you won't be able to like, okay, well, let's first do this one so they can go and reinforce this city. Nope, it's all happening at the same time. So yeah, where do you guys want to go for first?
I mean, I'd be down for going first if you guys are okay with that.
Fine.
I have no problem with that.
Alright.
All right, so Clausegate. So Argenta, you join a relatively large caravan because unlike the rest of the cities that need to be defended, the caravan that is going to Clausegate is going to lose some of its people as they go to Ebenthorn, and then eventually some of them will continue going all the way to Meisenford. So you actually have the largest group of people and wagons that are bringing battle supplies and everything imaginable. Going through the webwood, the caravan is so long that there's really no problem of anyone getting lost because you're all connected and very, very large. As you get close to Klausgate, you can see the city itself looks remarkably similar to the last time you were here. You still don't see anyone kind of wandering around the streets, but instead of the kind of overwhelming presence of fear that you felt the first time you got here, now there's this feeling of excitement, of kinetic energy just waiting to explode. As you get close, you are met by the same people that you met the first time you came here, the various guilds, and they start kind of going over the plans that they've made as far as defenses are concerned. Relwyn, you wave goodbye as you continue on with the caravan to Ebenthorn and eventually Meisenford. So, at Klausgate, we have Esmeralda, the alchemist from Ebenthorn. We have Vincent and Elizabeth. We have the sheriff. We have the rangers that worked with Rowan's brother, or not Rowan, Argenta's brother, and then Argenta themselves. So, for Esmeralda, Vincent and Elizabeth, the sheriff, and the rangers, Vincent and Elizabeth are kind of a package deal. So who wants to control what?
Um, I kind of like the idea of Esmeralda.
Okay. So
Really, Elizabeth's kind of fireball adjacent.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, you know what? Either Elizabeth with all of her fire spells or the dragon that is fire incarnate. I mean, I'm good with whatever. This is a win-win situation for me. Um, so I guess then I'll take Vincent and Elizabeth.
Okay. You can do Esmeralda too, and then we could just give the sheriff and the rangers to Rowan. Because you each are gonna. I mean, there's technically 4 groups, so
Right.
each of you gets 2. Does that work
Okay.
for you, Rowan?
Sure. So how are we taking who?
So you have the sheriff and the rangers,
Sheriffs and Rangers.
and uh, Vala has Esmeralda and Vincent and Elizabeth. We good?
Yep.
All right. So as you guys get there, you are informed. The town does not want to destroy the town in order to, protect it. However, they understand the value of blowing up a few houses to take out some baddies. So you have a grand total of 4 houses in various parts of the city that still have the magic explosive runes under them, active and ready to be activated by Elizabeth. Any other preparations that you guys want to make specifically for Clausegate?
Argenta would specifically, um, well, she'd ask 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, does the smith here know how to deal with firearms and bullets and stuff?
No, unfortunately, in Crucitalia in general, firearms are not a technology that is widespread enough for people to be familiar with them.
Okay.
Because you're one of the closest towns to Midwell, you've got roughly about 4-ish days that you can prep. So if you wanted to work specifically with the smith to do something involving your firearms, I'd let you do that. But again, the limitation is because you are not a gunslinger, you do not have a ton of knowledge of the intricacies of how the firearms work. You just know how to point and shoot.
Oh, question.
Mm-hmm.
Klausgate, are the Watcher orbs still in function too, or have those been shut down?
Fantastic question. They were immediately, like, it took a lot of magic to run them, so they were immediately dispelled after you guys were able to free the town. However, the things that made it possible for them to work are still somewhat intact. You could not create the entire grid that you had before, but if you guys wanted to invest your 4 days of prep work into bringing back a few of those sensors, you could probably get 2 of them to a working status. But that would be your whole prep work for your 2 people. That would be just making sure that works. So, is that what you want to do, Rowan?
Unless someone else has a better idea, maybe like.
No, I like that idea.
Okay.
I'm also thinking, uh, since Esmeralda has a potion of Dragon's Majesty, I'm assuming that takes a very short amount of time to turn her into a dragon.
Yeah, it's an action to ingest it, and then she's a dragon. So less than 6 seconds.
So I'm thinking, uh, Esmeralda would want to find a place to hide.
Okay.
So that way, basically, as the forces will go past her, and then she's instantly flanking them.
All right. So Esmeralda kind of turns to you and says, "Yeah, good idea." And she's actually, if you guys remember the old Adventurers Guild on the, I think it was the western part of town.
Yes.
She thinks that's probably going to be a good thing. There, the forces are going to be coming from the north, but it's a large enough area that as they come, because there's going to be tons of them. She should be able to hide there and kind of flank them after they go. They start going in. So, does that work for you?
I like it.
Awesome. Any?
Um,
Go ahead.
so I'll work with the smith,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially what Argenta will do is she'll bring the do the twins still have the wagon? Not the
Yes.
twins, but the siblings.
Yeah.
Uh, so she'll work with the smith for like the first she'll have him have access to the wagon for the first 3 days so that when he gets fucking tired, he can go in, sleep, come back out, keep working.
Okay. I'll
And
say to get the
I,
wagon to a working condition again is going to take you the better part of at least a day.
that's fine.
Well, I mean, for the most part, it was working. It was just the temporal thing didn't function anymore.
Well, that's just
yeah, you
because
got
you
to clean
guys
all the
did,
gunk out of that thing.
yeah. But essentially, she wants to create weapon caches so that ammunition is not a factor for herself or the Rangers for their bolts and arrows and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. He having been told that this was going to be happen, he had already kind of started working with like a local Fletcher and things like that into getting stuff. And so most definitely he can basically plant weapons in various places with no problem. Like definitely 100% he can do that.
Okay. And then on the last day, she'll move the wagon because they're coming from, you said, the north?
Uh, yeah, you're not 100% certain where they're going to come from, but Tormund Rift is in the north, and so you know that they're going to be transported via portal. Um, so the north makes sense, seen as uh, the south is the mist.
Okay, so in the southern half of the city, in one of the houses that isn't going to be blown up,
Mm-hmm.
the wagon is essentially going to be like in a cellar,
Okay.
and she'll designate that as essentially the med bay,
Okay.
using the wagon as necessary. But
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So I'll say, since you guys took the time to fix up the wagon, if anyone uses their turn to specifically go to the wagon itself for the heal action, anyone that you attempt to heal with it will just get full health. Um, Sound good?
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, so tactically, I think Vala might be rubbing off on me. I feel deceit is a good option here. Um, what if we, and this is Vincent talking.
Okay.
What if I try to play off that I've regained my senses and try to lure the attacking party into I don't want to say standing down because I don't think they're gonna take that, but just see if I can get them to pause. Maybe lure some of them in, and then
Wasn't it the sheriff's ability?
Sheriff's ability, um, he's got that not threatening thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I believe Jody said that like that works to like bait people into close.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what you're describing is possible. You do see Elizabeth as Vincent's kind of explaining his plan. You do see Elizabeth kind of tenses up a little bit, and she kind of holds on to him a little bit tighter. You notice that her speech pattern has changed a little bit. She doesn't quite have the whininess in her voice anymore. She
Hmm.
goes, "But brother, if it doesn't work, you'll be alone against an army. I don't really think the risk is worth it, especially since there's so much you can do with the rest of us."
It was just a thought. Like I said, I think it was that spent too much time drinking with Vala.
The uh, the sheriff kind of pipes up, going, "Well, I mean, as much as I hate to put people in danger, um, I mean, the boy does have a good point. Unlike the rest of us, he wasn't simply working for the Dark Lord. He held a position of authority. Now, I don't know how much the Dark Lord understands about what went on here, but if any of us have a chance of convincing this army of darkness of anything, it's going to be his boy over here. So, I think dismissing it outright might be a mistake. I'm not saying that that's exactly what we need to do, but the boy brings up a point, and he brings up an asset that really no one else has. I mean, it's not like you were able to convince any of the other generals to come over to our side.
That is fair, but it might work on everyone except the Revenant. But that's my main question. I have no idea who the Revenant is.
Right. Uh, like I said, it was just a thought. Could maybe get the Revenant to land. Well, I'm kind of envisioning the Revenant riding in on the Death Dragon, and even if I could get him to come down and talk, that would get the Death Dragon on the ground and then open up on him. But that does potentially leave me in danger, but I mean, we're all in danger.
Well, I think we should plan for it to go horribly wrong. Maybe set up a an escape route for you so that when it does go wrong, as it probably will, you'll be able to get out of there quickly.
Um, the four houses that are going to explode, um, we should probably have escape routes through them. Lure the armies into the houses, escape out the side, and then Elizabeth can make house go boom.
Yes, I've been practicing a lot. Not with actually exploding things, but my control is there.
Yes.
Well, I mean, works. What if we do it this way? What if you have your meeting with the Revenant right outside one of these houses that's meant to go up? Then if things go south, you know where the explosion is going to come from. And so you can position yourself in a place where you can get out of the way. And even if the explosion doesn't kill anyone, it'll be a big enough distraction for you to be able to get away scot free.
I
You know,
like it.
we'll lose out on one of our explosives for killing the bad ones, but we save a secret weapon, as it might be. I think it's a pretty good trade-off.
I feel that's fair.
All right then. Well,
I think the Rangers could be set up possibly for, obviously for spotting the advancement, but also possibly for I don't know, corralling. If there's any way they might be able to, through their tactics, be able to potentially guide the opposing forces, like, bait them, if you will, or using a gaming term, kiting.
Mm.
One of the rangers comes forward. Well, this group involves a lot of undead who tend to have a rather large problem with fire. If we were to take cloth, wood, other things like that, we could hide it as debris, soak it in kerosene or even alcohol if we need it. We could create walls effectively that we could just fire a flaming arrow at and use that to kind of corral the different groups into different places. I mean, divide and conquer. All right. Well, then we shall do that then. Well, seems to me that we got ourselves some pretty good plans. Might as well start doing our prep work and then get us some rest. Nothing makes a plan go worse than being too tired to remember what it is.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, you all do your prep work, and the day of the battle approaches. As you all get ready, the clouds above you start to crackle and thunder. You see a light rain start coming down. Now, the prep work that you've done, you've used flammable enough items that you don't believe the rain is heavy enough to prevent your walls of fire from corralling people. As another peal of thunder lights up the sky, you suddenly see this pinpoint of light just floating to the north of Clausegate. As you look at it, it suddenly gets larger and larger. First a few feet wide, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. Soon it is this massive 50-foot tall gate. It starts to shimmer. And from out of it, you see a score of undead creatures start coming in. Soon enough, you see from the west another pinpoint, this one slightly smaller, open up. You see another group of these undead start coming through. To the east, another pinpoint of light. This time, you see these massive undead dinosaurs start coming out. And you are now surrounded by the forces of evil. The last thing that you see is this massive horned visage start coming through, and you see these huge leathery black wings, and this massive death dragon comes through with a revenant riding on its back. It starts circling overhead. Vincent, you are standing near the front of the town. You see this revenant above you. He's high enough up that you can't really tell who it is. What would you like to do?
I think Vincent would just hold up his hand, holding up his right hand to wave to the revenant, with his left hand, hang onto the hilt of his sword
Okay.
in its sheath.
So as you wave, you see the death dragon slowly circle down, land in front of you, and from on top of the dragon, a familiar form drops down. Please remind me, what's the name of the bounty hunter dude from your backstory, Argenta?
Oh, the Bloody Fang.
The Bloody Fang walks forward.
Hmm.
Now, having both of you been generals, you instantly recognize him, but something about him is very different. His skin has a pallid look to it. It's not quite right. His eyes seem darker than they were before. He slowly walks towards you. He stops about 10 feet away. I was told you defected.
Yes, well, rumors of my defection have been exaggerated. I was playing a part, as it were, getting on the inside of the rebels.
Seems like quite a waste. You've never been much of a threat. Simply spoiled the harvest.
Hmm. Not much of a threat. Well, I had to know for sure for myself. They seem troublesome, irritating, and as you said, they've spoiled the harvest completely. So much so that the Dark Lord has seen fit to wipe this world clean.
Do you think you're going to be spared? You did fail.
I think we all failed.
I have already paid my price. He kind of gestures to his body. What price did you pay for your failure?
Did I fail? Or was I just acting my part?
Roll me a deception check.
What kind of a bonus does Vincent have?
You're going to get a +3 to it.
Okay.
He's not a great liar, but
Oh.
he's not unfamiliar with it.
I have to double check because this is an unusual die, but that is a natural 20.
Damn. You can see the resentment in his eyes. You get the idea that coming back as a revenant was not his choice. And he seems almost jealous of the fact that you still have your life while his is now limited. But he doesn't seem to have realized the ruse yet. He kind of looks down and spits on the ground. But I think you owe the rest of us something. See, I didn't go and try and make nice to save my own tail. I fought to the bitter end. I bled for the Dark Lord. I think we need to see you bleed before we can just bring you back in. You see him pull out a dagger.
Hmm. Oh. What would they call you? The Bloody Fang? What is this obsession with blood on yours? I've paid a price.
Not from where I'm standing.
Why don't we let the Dark Lord decide what price is right?
The Dark Lord has given me complete autonomy over wiping this shit stain from the map. If I decide you haven't paid enough, then that's what the Dark Lord wants. Roll me an insight check. Add 7 to it.
Hmm.
So he may not be good at lying. He's remarkably good at reading people.
That'd be 15.
15. There's kind of like a twitch to him that doesn't seem right. He's really, really angry about this.
Hmm.
And you think he's becoming less rational as the conversation goes on.
Well, since
It's
I
almost
don't,
like the guy who didn't have months and months and months to plan doesn't like being given last minute instructions.
um, uh, well, since it looks like this is gonna head to blows regardless, I think Vincent is going to, um, Vincent is gonna, I think the ruse is up. He's gotten what he can out of this. Um, I think I want to say he's gonna use the animate swords and just full attack this guy.
Okay. So how do you see him getting to that point? Do you think he's just gonna go, well, or
I think he'd be like, you know what? I think you failed the Dark Lord once already. I don't think you can be trusted with this, so I'm taking your command. And we throw the animated swords at him.
okay? So
And hope that the rest of the group is going to go, oh shit, new leader.
so you know the rain is coming down. He has his dagger out. It's gripped far too tightly. His hand is kind of shaking with how hard he's gripping it. You can see his knuckles are turning white, which is impressive with how pale his skin is. You turn to him and go, well, I think you've screwed up enough. I'm taking over. You're not worth it. And you see him just give you this look of disgust, and he brings the dagger up and switch to an ice pick grip and starts moving forward, and you kind of furl your cape, and the various swords and other things that you had hidden underneath it just go shing, and suddenly he is faced with a wall of swords as Vincent kind of turns around, winks at him, and I need you to make your first attack roll.
Oh. Don't let me down.
So, again, the way that all of these are going to work, anytime you use an ability, you get a +3 to the roll, and an advantageous pair up gives you a +2. So I think
Okay.
both of those apply here. You have a minimum of a +5, and because he's kind of surprised for this, you can have up to a +4 from battle tactics, is what I call it. I'm going to give you a +1 for your battle tactics because it's not super complex, but he's definitely not expecting it. So grand
I
total,
mean, you got him to dismount.
yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, no, this is instead of us having to fight him in the sky, I'm fighting him alone at the moment. I got an 11 on the die, so 17,
17. All right. That
if math
is
right.
more than enough to do that. I need to keep track of stuff. So give me just a second here to get the stuff I need written down. Okay, so and I should tell you guys this. For attacks, a hit is going to do 1 point of damage. If your roll adds up to more than 20s, so 21 or higher, does 2 damage, and a nat 20 is worth 3. So keep that in mind when you're doing this stuff.
Okay.
That's the wrong amount. I should have prepped this beforehand. And then we have
This battle sequence is brought to you by The Hearthwitch's Guide to Magic and Murder by
Thank you.
Kerry Callaghan, available in stores right now.
Go get it. It's an awesome book.
Buy it.
I even know at least one of the books that I think Barnes and Nobles is signed by Gary.
Yeah.
I saw a reel where she was in the store and she pulled the cover back and showed that she'd
hell.
signed it. Yeah.
She does that. I can tell you she has done that plenty of times. So, depending on where you are, I don't know if she's done that across the nation, but I can tell you there's certain areas that she's visited. She has done that in the past.
All right. So,
on other books.
as you do that, the swords start flying forward. You see him try deflecting, but a few of them get through, and he starts retreating. For the initiative roll, I'm going to have everybody go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and we will just choose the highest of your rolls versus mine. Flat d20 roll for initiative. So what do we got? Rowan?
6.
Okay. Vala?
7.
Argenta?
7.
Cool. So they are going to go first. So as that happens, Vincent, you start running back to get to a more advantageous position. You guys see all of the troops start moving forward. The Revenant starts to go back to his dragon mount. The first group that is coming to attack you all is going to be a Harrowhound swarm. So as far as you guys can tell, just to use easy numbers, there seems to be 8 swarms of Harrowhounds, 2 groups of dinosaur zombies, 4 groups of white troops, and 6 ghast swarms. So the Harrowhounds come rushing in, and so these undead dogs start coming in and just start attacking kind of indiscriminately. Who would like to defend against them? You can choose a character, tell me how you're defending, and then make a roll.
Argenta will.
Okay. So, how are you going to defend against the undead puppers?
Essentially, her tactic, because with that whole conversation, she could have easily gotten a pass without trace up.
Mm-hmm.
So her tactic is to run, because there's so many alleyways here, between alleyways, and essentially shoot her guns to make them follow, and then there's no tracks to follow as she bolts, because she can stealth at normal pace as a wolf totem.
All right. So the intent is to kind of confuse them.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to give you a +3 to your tactics. And I wouldn't really count this as using an ability, but I will give you an advantageous pair up. So it's a +5 DC 11 check.
That's a 23.
23, cool. So as you're doing this, you're able to not only get just this swarm of hounds to follow you, as you're kind of darting through the alleys and things like this, you suddenly run into another pair or another swarm of these hounds, and you instantly have to start kind of working your way around. But with the combination of your guns and knowing this city pretty well from having to sneak through it, you're not only able to confuse them, but you actually sick a few of them on each other, and you're actually able to get rid of 2 swarms of the hounds. Because swarms, if you beat them, they die, even on a defend action. So, that being said, it is now up to you guys, and every round, let's say, each character can only attack and defend once. So until every other character has defended, Argenta's not going to be able to defend again. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So no one has done any attacks yet. So who wants to make the first attack, and what would you like to aim for? I will say right now, the dragon and the revenant are kind of flying pretty high and letting their troops do most of the work. So if you want to target them, it's going to be more difficult.
Hmm.
Well, if no one else has a thought at the moment. There's the hounds, there's the gas, and what else?
There are hounds, ghasts,
Whites,
and
zombie
dinos.
dinosaurs.
And the hounds are a swarm, and the ghasts are a swarm. The rest are normal creatures.
All right. Well, Argenta is what's it called? So she as she deals with those she sicks those groups of hounds on each other.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to basically book it to the dinosaurs.
Okay.
And essentially she will use her cloak to go up onto the roof of one of the buildings. And this isn't like attacking like normal, where it's more like aiming and taking time with her shot. Since they're so big, this is just hip firing at their head level.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna say +2 for tactics, +2 for a good matchup. Still a DC 11. Go ahead and make your roll.
Natural 20.
Hot damn. All right, so you guys watch as Argenta kind of sneaks around and just disappears, and then suddenly you hear this, and you see this massive T-Rex start pounding its way through the city. It's crushing the buildings. It's taking massive bites at people, Vincent, as it gets close to you, you see its massive undead jaws with like entrails dripping from them and teeth starting to fall out, coming closer and closer to you. You grip your sword and you start to get the rest of your animated weapons ready for it, and suddenly you hear and you watch as the creature is kind of moved. It swings around, its massive tail ripping through a house, and it turns, and you can see Argenta standing alone on a building with her cloak thrown back, just pointing one of her now paired guns at it. The creature goes, starts running towards Argenta. Another, you see that. And you watch as one of the eyes explodes. It goes, and it's getting closer and closer. Suddenly, you hear from behind Argenta another different sounding roar. This, you see this massive mountain of a brontosaurus start rising up. You see this trunk-like tail comes swooping down to destroy the position that Argenta's on, and Argenta jumps into the air full anime style, flipping upside down, and takes the other gun out and just starts kind of spiraling as she goes down. As she hits the ground and rolls to get up, you watch as she flicks the chambers of the guns open to drop out the spent cartridges, and next to her both groups of dinosaurs are on the ground no longer moving, with pools of viscera and undead embalming fluid just kind of leaking out of them. As Argenta slowly reloads both of her weapons and disappears again. The dinosaurs no longer exist. Seeing this happen, a swarm of ghasts decide to come in and start searching houses, smelling for the scent of blood. They start looking for root cellars and storm shelters and things like that, trying to find any of the people that are still here who wants to defend against that.
Elizabeth
Okay.
will be like, "Yoo-hoo, over here!"
Okay. The ghasts, smelling her very, very living body, go, and they start rushing towards her, and this like wall of ghasts just starts bounding towards her, saliva dripping off of their faces, their claws and fangs bared, ready to rip her into tiny little pieces. What does she want to do?
And just as they're about to reach the house that she's standing on top of, she's just going to slide off the roof and dink.
All right. Go ahead. +2 for advantage, advantageous pair up, +3 for an ability, and I'll give you another +2 for battle tactics. So +7 DC 11.
Does she get a bonus for putting on a Guy Fawkes mask?
That's the battle tactics.
Okay.
Remember the 5th of November.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Well, I rolled an 11, so 18.
18, not bad. So as she runs away, you see the ghasts. She slides off the roof, and the ghasts are taking the shortest distance physically possible. So they start breaking through windows, ripping doors off, taking off planks of wood on the side of the house. And as they get in, she turns around and just goes through, and then this massive explosion happens. Bits of viscera start raining down everywhere, and a large group of ghasts is no more. Who wants to attack next?
Would the attack involve, if it was the Rangers, is it would that the fire trap count as an attack, or would that be to defend?
You can use either or one. And you don't have to use an ability. You can just have, I'm going to have the Rangers shoot their arrows and kill something as well. It's entirely how you want to deal with it.
Okay.
The attack and defend is really just a structure that makes it easier for me to kind of keep track of what's going on. So.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The way I see it, if you decide to use the firewalls, I would say that is going to act more as a buff for everyone as opposed to actually killing anything. Does that make sense? Whereas if you have them, their ability is they can use their animal companions to do shit. Or if you just have them attack, you will actually lower the number of enemies you're dealing with. If you use the firewalls, then you'll just make it easier for everyone else to do well.
Okay. I was wondering if maybe like the sheriff using his ability to draw in, and then coordinates with the Rangers, they use that for their attack.
You can't combine two different abilities in the same role, let's say.
Okay.
So you have to choose one or the other.
Okay, then I'll just use the Rangers then.
Okay. And are you going to do the firewall, or are you going to attack?
I think with the intent was to like we're gonna try use controlled situation. I think now would be like with the zombies and the gas. The dino zombies are taken out of, but there's still hounds and gas involved. They'll go ahead and try to corral.
Okay, cool.
Try to control the narrative.
Cool. So +3 for we're going to call that an ability. +3 for the ability. +2 for advantage advantageous pair up, and since this is purely tactical, I'll give you the full 4 for tactics. So that's a 9 to the roll.
So that's 10 on the die, so that's 19.
19, cool. All right, so the Rangers start kind of making noises and stuff like that to attract as many creatures into the city as possible. And now creatures from everywhere are starting to come into the city. Ghasts are going through every single block. The Whites are taking it a little bit slower. The dinosaurs are dead. And the hounds are just going everywhere that they can. And so at an advantageous time, the Rangers kind of position themselves on various roofs. And then all at once, you hear this whistle pierce through the night. And then you start seeing, you see these little pinpoints of light as each one of the arrows is lit on fire. And then, and you see these kind of trails of fire just start going up everywhere. And everybody gets cut off. Both attacks and defenses are going to have a flat +1 added to them until the bad guys find a way to deal with these walls. With that being said, the Whites specifically realizing that they're getting put in a little bit more of a bad position are going to go out and start trying to kill people. They're specifically looking at the Rangers. So if you don't choose someone different, I'm going to just have the Rangers themselves defend against this.
I think they would be the best at defending themselves, and hiding, skulking, guerrilla tactics kind of thing situation.
So the Whites start going. They start kind of climbing onto buildings. How do you want the Rangers to defend? Just kind of being sneakified, or anything in specific?
I think it's almost kind of like they were anticipating some type of chase scene, so they know, like, do the they see me, they don't. They see me, they don't. They see, like, they're ducking behind chimneys, or they're ducking behind a rooftop. They're ducking, like, if you see them, they intended for you to see them.
Okay. Right,
Come and play.
I wouldn't say this is an advantageous pair up because they were picked by the Whites, but I will give you a +3 for the battle tactics, and then you have your flat +1 going forward. So
+4.
Yep. Still DC 11.
19 on the die.
Nice.
All right. So with that being a 23, that's actually normally defending doesn't do any damage to them. I'll say, since you got over a 20, they're able to kind of get the Whites lost in the city, and they are able to sequester a few of them and just, and the White just collapses to the down. So you are now 1 White less. Goes back to offensive. Who wants to go next? I think we still have Vincent and Elizabeth have both gone, and so have the Rangers. So I think all we have left is the sheriff that haven't done anything yet. Oh, and
Esmeralda.
And Esmeralda.
So Sheriff or Esmeralda, who wants it?
Fuck it. Esmeralda goes.
Okay. So, is there a specific group that Esmeralda is targeting? Hounds, dinos, Whites, Ghasts, or does she want to try and go toe-to-toe with the Dragon or the Revenant?
Dinos are gone, I think, right?
Dinos are
So-
yes.
She's gonna thin the Harrow Hounds.
Okay, cool. So, the Old Adventurers Guild, they're starting to kind of break in, hoping that there's somebody hiding in there, and eventually this group of Harrow Hounds kind of surround Esmeralda, and she just kind of goes, "Oh, darn it, I'm all alone by myself, and I don't know what I'm..." And suddenly you start seeing this pattern of scales appear on her hands, and she starts kind of moving her back a little bit, and you start seeing these protrusions, and she starts getting bigger and bigger, and what used to be this small halfling woman turns into a gold dragon that breaks out, and you guys, the rest of you, watch as the Adventurers Guild kind of shatters, and you see this massive gold dragon come out and go, whoa, and just lays out this huge molten breath. +3 for ability, +2 for advantageous pair up, and I'll give you the full 4 for the battle tactics since she's been waiting this entire time.
Ooh.
And a flat +1 because of the walls.
Oh, so 23.
Not bad. So, as she goes and just melts them down, because they are a swarm, she kills double. So she's able to get rid of 4 swarms of hounds as she goes and starts going up and starts kind of flying over the city in a similar manner to the Death Dragon, and the Death Dragon notices. To switch things up, the Death Dragon and Revenant are going to go directly for this new dragon on the battlefield. And the Death Dragon is going to use its death breath. And so you see it kind of, it starts breathing in, and you can see this kind of noxious energy mixed with necromancy start welling up at its mouth, and suddenly this beam of necromantic energy infused gas just starts going off and specifically hitting everybody, because that's how Death Dragons work. So I'd like all of you guys to make defense rolls for each one of your characters. You do still have the flat +1, and if anyone wants to come up with an idea for a tactic that you want to use, if it's good enough, I will give everybody a bonus to their check. And I will say the DC for anything involving the Death Dragon is going to be base 13. So, does anyone have a specific tactic that they want one of their characters to use that will help everybody, or we just all worrying about not dying to death breath?
I don't know if I have anything applicable.
Would Esmeralda be able to like use her breath weapon as to like counter it?
Since she just used it, she wouldn't be able to counter it immediately with it. She has to take a little bit of time to get some more air and fire in her. Any other ideas?
Well, as the breath is coming down, what if one of the houses exploded to try and distract the dragon?
I'm good with that. If you guys want to sacrifice, that'll be your second house, so you only have 2 left.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give you a +4 for battle tactics for that.
Okay.
So, overall +5. Make your defense rolls for every one of the characters you control.
I got a 14 for the sheriff, a 19 for the rangers.
Okay.
I rolled. That's what I rolled.
All right.
15 for Argenta.
All right.
Esmeralda got a 23.
Damn.
Vincent got a 20. Elizabeth got a 10.
Okay. So, all of you start just kind of moving out of the way, and this wave of death just starts going everywhere. Vincent, seeing it come, reacts instantaneously. He jumps onto a building and gets as high as he can as this wave of death just kind of rolls under him. He looks over and he sees Elizabeth sitting there and trying to get to a place, and notices that there's nowhere she can go. He starts to kind of reach down, and she just kind of shakes him away, brings up her wand, and starts creating a shield to protect herself. As it's hit by the wave of death, you see it, and it overwashes her. All allies have a total of 5 hit points. She is now down to 3. For the rest of you, you all kind of dive into buildings and things like that to protect yourself. and are able to get out as unscathed as possible. Vincent from
Elizabeth might want the wagon.
Vincent from
I mean-
on high kind of sees what's happening and has to stop himself for a moment from just diving into the death with her. He waits for it to kind of clear, and he can see she's there, but there are these massive black streaks on her arm. There's some black streaks on her face from the necrotic energy basically necrotizing her skin. But she's still upright. She's kind of holding herself a little bit. Goes, I'm okay. Let's get ready for this. Sheriff, you're the last one that hasn't acted. What you want to do?
I think that. Let's see. Don't know if the sheriff has if the capability to the sheriff's ability to draw attention of the revenant who's riding, is my understanding, still riding the dragon, the death dragon. So if he might be able to use his ability to potentially, like, because we also have determined, like, even in death, Bloody Fang is still a cocky bastard who has an ego issue.
So you want the sheriff to kind of lean into his vanity to try and convince him, hey, maybe you should come down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For the Revenant,
Since his edge is being in the air.
for the Revenant, DC's against him or DC 15. So I will give you +3 for using the ability. For battle tactics, I'll give you the full +4. I'm not going to give you the advantageous pair up because
Okay.
it's not the greatest pair up in the world, but it's still a +7. And then your flat +1 bonus.
Oh. So +8. DC 15. All right. 19 again on the die.
All right, so the sheriff, seeing all this stuff, he gets to a spot and realizing that saying anything to him is going to be kind of pointless. He goes and he just fires a shot that just barely misses him, and then he gets this huge, wide-eyed fear in his eyes. And you watch as the Bloody Fang just like can smell the fear, and so he grins. And as the dragon is going off to fight their own dragon, you watch as he kind of comes down, and the sheriff's fumbling with his gun, and he's trying to muzzle load and everything like that. And he brings it up again, fires again, and even further off. So the Bloody Fang gets closer and closer. And he gets really close and just knocks the gun out of the sheriff's hand, and he brings him right up to his face. Now, I get to get rid of a thorn in my side. And he pulls the knife back, and the sheriff goes, oh, well, probably want to take this out of your side first, and takes a hidden derringer that he had in his coat and just goes 2 shots right to the gut. And it knocks the Bloody Fang backwards as he looks at his congealed blood in his lifeless body starting to slowly leak out from these 2 bullet wounds that he has. And the sheriff just kind of tips his hat and walks around a corner. And as the Bloody Fang kind of comes around, he's not there anymore. And
Never played poker, have you, son? There's a lot you can do with 2 pair.
I like that. You do an additional 2 damage to him. He's now down to 3 hit points. We are effectively back top of the round.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, that was your attack. So still 1 more defense. The Revenant's pissed off, and so he's going to use his ability referred to as Duelist. He goes and he looks for the sheriff, and he kind of picks him out. He goes, "You and me, we're not done until either one of them dies. No one else can attack either the sheriff or the revenant. They are locked at a duel. And I need the sheriff to go ahead and make me a defense roll as he comes forward and just throws a dagger at him."
$16 on the die.
16 on the die. Okay. So the dagger comes hurtling towards the sheriff, and he kind of just leans to the side, watches it pass, and then very slowly kind of cleans his gun, going, "You know, probably really shouldn't be losing your weapons like that. Now I'm at an advantage, and I just feel sorry for you." And he kind of clicks the shotgun back into place and starts aiming. Now we're at the top. Who wants to go first?
Because we're at the top. The reason why Argento wasn't hit by the Death Dragon is because when Esmeralda went up in dragon form, Argento's clinging to one of her talons,
Cool.
and she activates her own special that I'm going to call Lone Wolf as I just point at the Death Dragon, and we're both shunted to the Shadowfell.
Ooh, okay. This could turn out very poorly for you, but so yeah, you guys watch. These two dragons are going at it, and you watch as they kind of meet in the air, and this kind of thunder clash happens, and you watch as the Death Dragon starts to try and get its jaws around Esmeralda's golden dragon neck, and suddenly you guys see a dark spot on the claw of the golden dragon. At first you thought, oh no, she's been hit by this necromancy. No, it's Argenta, who kicks off of the dragon raid and points at the creature, and suddenly you guys watch as they both just disappear in a cloud of smoke. Argenta,
And
go ahead.
that's part of the attack, because I can appear anywhere within the arena. I appear about 15 feet above the dragon, ready to plunge my dagger into its back.
Okay, so the dragon is now, first of all, remind me again, it's a 30 by 30 box, right?
It is. Let me just look at the item because it's there. Inventory.
It's not like I created the damn thing. Why would I remember how it works?
Yeah, it's a 30 by 30 foot box.
So this dragon went from I can fly wherever I want to a 30 by 30 foot box, which is just barely enough, because it's massive, barely enough for its wingspan. So it can stay somewhat aloft where it's not physically touching the ground, but the upper limits prevent it from going any higher, and the width of it just doesn't. And so it's looking around trying to figure out what in the hell just happened, and suddenly like a bolt of lightning, Argenta descends dragoon style with his frostbrand or her frostbrand dagger, and attempts to plunge it into the creature. I'm giving you everything. Advantageous ability and full battle tactics +4. I will say, since you're no longer in the fire, you're not going to get the flat +1 for the firewalls, but it's still a +9 to your attack roll.
So +9?
Yeah, full on +9.
Yeah, because you're doing death from above.
27.
27. Not bad at all. So, as you come down and you plunge the dagger into the creature's back, you see this bright flash of bluish white energy as the frost goes, and you watch as you plunge it in. You see frostbite start forming all over the creature. The creature goes. It starts waving around wildly, trying to get you off its back. You do half of its hit point in that one attack. And because you're there and it's the top of the round, It's going to turn and try to nom on you. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Argenta, because anyone that gets close enough to the Death Dragon, it has this overwhelming stench that can actually make your attack fail.
I rolled a 19 on the die. That's like
Yeah.
a 30.
It's not going to do anything. So, the scent of this dragon is overwhelming. You have to keep actively focusing on your own internal organs to keep them from coming up. But it's finally able to kind of corkscrew and land on the ground and get you off its back, and it turns around and just tries to sink its teeth into you. Because of where you were, I'm still going to give you the advantageous link up and a full +4 to the battle tactics. You just don't get an ability for the defend roll, so +6, make me a defense roll. Again, the dragon stuff is DC 13. 18, yeah. So as it comes down and its jaws are getting to the point where it's trying to clamp down on you, you just out of existence, and it clamps down on nothing but smoke. While that is going on, the rest of you have seen the Death Dragon taken out of the equation. Who wants to go next?
I think Esmeralda being like, well, I don't have any more playthings. I think I'm going to go take out some ghasts.
Okay. The ghasts are swarming over everything. They're starting to peel back buildings, and Esmeralda starts noticing they're getting to one of these safe houses. And so she starts moving forward. Go ahead and make your roll. Again, I'm going to say almost anything with the dragon is going to be advantageous.
Okay.
And then this counts as an ability, and I'll only give you a +2 for the battle tactics on this one because they're starting to get used to a dragon being there. So yeah, total of +7.
Does that include the +1 for the fire?
+8 with the +1. So total of +8.
16.
16, more than enough. So it sits there and incinerates another group of the whites. Now half of their number have been decimated as
I was the ghasts.
ghasts. Sorry, that's what I meant. The ghasts.
That's okay. So did I take out 1 or 2 since it's a swarm?
Since it's a swarm, we'll call it 2. So the ghasts are now at half of their total number. Seeing that happen, the last 2 swarms of hounds are going to go after Elizabeth, seeing as she seems to be a weak target. So, Elizabeth, how would you like to defend against the hounds?
I think I'm going to try to blow up another house.
Open another house? Okay, cool. Then, yeah, ability, advantageous, 2 to the battle tactics, 1 from the fire. So that's 8 again.
Okay. $25.
25. All right. That's all we needed. So, as the hounds start going, Elizabeth is still not doing great from the damage. So she's kind of limping. She sees one of the houses that is marked for explosion, and she just kind of goes in. She barricades the door and then starts looking for the escape route. This particular house is one that you guys have been in before. The one where you found those kids that gave you the carbon monoxide. She goes beneath the house using the trapdoor and starts crawling out, but the dogs are right on her tail. And they're tearing through the door and they're tearing through the house. They eventually pry up the floor, and as they're getting close to her, she realizes she's not going to have enough time to get completely clear, and so she just turns, flicks her wand, and the explosion sends her flying. She kind of rolls, but other than having a bit of a singed dress and slightly less cropped eyebrows than she had previously, she seems fine, and the last of the Harrow Hounds vanish. Who would like to go on the offensive? We still have Vincent, Elizabeth, and the sheriff and the rangers have not gone yet this turn. So,
Well, it seems to me that since the Bloody Fang challenged the sheriff, that maybe he needs to see that little duel through.
okay. So, how does the sheriff want to deal with the bloody fang?
Well, again, I think he's going to use. I don't know if he can use ability again, or if that's like a recharge thing. But like, I think he kind of wants to. I think he wants to like the Bloody Fang. The more angrier he gets, the sloppier he gets.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of goading him in, and just like.
Sure. You could use the abilities up to 2 times in the fight. So if you want to use his ability for the second time, this will be the last time he can use it.
Okay.
But you can definitely use it again.
Has the Bloody Fang already been hurt? I thought he was.
Yes.
You
guys,
Yeah.
He's at half health. You guys.
He's at half health.
Yeah, Vincent hit him with the swords, and then you double tapped him with a Derringer.
I think it's worth tapping into the ability one more time, since he is like the general in this instance.
Absolutely.
So
how do you see him doing this? Is he just going to keep goading him as he ducks around corners, or do you have something more specific you're thinking of?
I think, again, he's going to be goading him into a position, and then he's just basically like, this guy's sloppy, you take your time, you look the devil in the eye, that's when you take your shot.
Okay. So, seeing as he's becoming more unhinged, the sheriff goes, well, you know what? I must say I'm a bit disappointed. I heard so many things, and we interacted a few times back in Scorn Moat, and I used to think that you were actually good at something. It really is upsetting. And as he's saying this, the Revenant's getting closer and closer. He pulls...
Real Doc Holliday shit.
Yeah. I'm your Huckleberry. He pulls out this wicked-looking kind of kama almost, like a hand scythe, and he kind of brings it out. He's like, I'll kill you. And he swings it at the sheriff, and the sheriff doesn't dodge this time. He actually moves in closer and takes the blow on his shoulder. But he moves close enough that the blade itself doesn't make contact, and he just gets the shaft of it. And he kind of looks at it and goes, you know what? I think you need to learn how to use that better. And he goes, boom, and just headbutt into the nose. Go ahead and make your roll, because that's going to set him up for the shot that he's doing.
Okay. Okay, so what do I have my bonus-wise?
Advantageous ability, 4 to the battle tactics, so a 9 plus the fire, so 10 total.
10, that's 24.
24. Okay, so
14 on the die.
He sits there and just crunch, and you feel the sensation of bones breaking as your head comes in contact with his nose. He is thrown back. He drops the hand scythe and kind of wipes his nose. But unlike a normal bloody nose, which is flowing down, there's just this like gel red.
Yeah, because fun fact about a nasal membrane, that's like one of the first things to go when you start decomposing.
Yeah. And so there's just this like jelly on his fingers, and without missing a beat, what's his name? The sheriff just kind of pulls out his double barrel shotgun, gives him both barrels.
It's the scene from I don't know if you're familiar with Army of Darkness.
I know of it.
There's a scene where it's like him versus evil Ash Doppelganger, like goody little two shoes, goody little two shoes, and then like just, and there's like the gun is just right under his nose, and he pulls the trigger.
And so yeah, he goes, shh, sorry, and he fires the shot off. Massive portions of his jaw are blown away, again with half of his face, and he falls to the ground. And as the sheriff starts walking away triumphantly, he hears motion behind him. It's got a... And the Revenant slowly stands up with the most of his jaw gone. His tongue is just hanging out. You can see bits of his brain kind of leaking out of his skull. And he pulls out what's it called? Really, really thin, almost ice pick like dagger.
Stiletto?
Stiletto. He pulls out a stiletto. And since he hasn't gone in this round, he's going to rush. He's just going to come forward. He's just going to try and stab him. So defense roll, take the lot, +10.
18 on the die.
Yeah. Claim your kill. Describe your victory.
I think he does that. He just does a little. I think he's like, I could do this, like, he's already got his gun out, but I actually think, like, it's more dramatic, because, like, can you charge and you overextend, and you're trying to, he's really just going in for, like, oh, you overstretch, and this, again, I think the sheriff just does, like, a little sidestep, and the stiletto ends up going into the dude's eye.
Okay, so, Bloody Fang is rushing forward. He has this stiletto out. He plunges it forward, and without missing a beat, the sheriff just kind of moves out of the way. The stiletto goes right past him. He goes, wrong again. And he just kind of socks him in the stomach to open up some space, grabs the arm with his stiletto, and you feel this sickening crunching sensation as what remains of his tendons are ripped away as you destroy his wrist. Pull the stiletto out, flip it to where he's holding the blade, and as the Bloody Fang just kind of stumbles away, he right through the last remaining eye socket that he has. Arms drop to the floor. Drops.
I think if I may, he goes like, "You think you can stop? Shut up!" And just does one more tap and drive it home.
Full on like JCVD. Is he? You think you can stop me? And he goes, "Stop." Yep. And he just does this full on like Sparta kick.
Yeah.
And knocks him backwards. That was the attack from the bad guys. Who wants to go next? We still have Rangers, Vincent, and Elizabeth.
I'm thinking Vincent will attempt to attack the rights.
Whites, okay.
He'll use animate sword.
Okay.
Because why not at this
Right.
point?
So, I'll give you the. He's just going to run up and use animate sword, or did he want to do anything kind of special to set it up?
Nah, I don't. I can't think of anything.
So, +2, +3, so that's a 5, and then a +1 from the fire. So total is a +6.
Which is good because I got a 5 on the die, so 11.
11, exactly what you need. So, Vincent kind of pulls his sword. He has his kind of army of swords with him, and he notices some whites starting to move close to him. The whites themselves have what look like vampiric blades. They're kind of glowing with necromantic energy. He can see that they're kind of connected to the whites themselves. So as he gets closer, he just starts dueling effectively. 4 whites start rushing towards him, and he's like pinpoint slices, and then a sword will come through or a dagger will come through, and at the end there are 4 whites lying on the ground dead. The remainder of his animated weapons are littering their bodies, but he was able to remove 1 additional group of whites.
Okay.
So you have 2 groups of whites, 3 swarms of ghasts remaining. Who wants? The ghasts, seeing their white allies die, they start kind of feeling guilty for them, a little bit of shame. And white guilt is just really, really rough to deal with. So they're going to swarm Vincent specifically. So how does Vincent want to defend? He has used the last of his animated weapons. So
He has. He will just defend with his sword.
okay. I'm not going to give this advantageous or disadvantageous. So this is just going to be a flat roll with a +1 for the fire for you.
I was gonna say if he'd use the fire at all to help him.
He still gets all of your rolls have the +1 for the fire until they try and do something to stop it. You always get that, but other than that, it's just a +1.
He got a 12 on the die, so 13 total.
13. So yeah, the gas start rushing him, and he's now just getting through them. Because they are a swarm, he is able to take care of one of them, but there are still 2 swarms remaining. So I think we still have Elizabeth and the Rangers, right?
Yep.
So who wants to go?
Elizabeth can, unless the Rangers want to go.
Well, I was gonna say, is anyone in pursuit of Elizabeth?
There was. They got exploded by the house. The hounds went after Elizabeth, and then all of them are dead now. So no one is currently pursuing Elizabeth.
Yeah, she just kind of got blasted off a little bit to the side.
Yeah, her ears are ringing, but other than that, she's not any worse for wear. So if you'd like the
she's got
Rangers,
a
if you'd
whole
like the
3 hit
Rangers to
points.
try and effectively transport her to the safe
I think
house,
she has 2 hit points. She lost 3, didn't she?
No, she lost 2. I
Yeah,
believe
she
she's
lost
at 3.
Yeah, she lost.
Oh, I
2,
thought it was
so
the other
she has
way.
3 hit points. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want the Rangers' ability to heal, you could have the Rangers kind of direct her there, and she could go back to full health. If that's the route that you want to go, and that would be the Rangers' turn.
I was thinking more along lines because I was thinking about she goes to the.
She could do that as well if she
The
wanted to
wagon.
use her. If she wanted to use her ability. The thing with using the heal ability is your next roll is going to have a -2 to it. So.
Okay.
So, if you want the Rangers to have a -2 or Elizabeth to have a -2, one of them has to decide to use the heal skill. Or again, you can make an attack and worry about healing after everyone's dead.
That's fair.
Yeah. Right now, I think we just have 2 swarms of ghasts and 2 whites to take care of.
2 groups of whites.
2 groups of whites.
Yeah.
And we still have 1 house to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that we could blow up. I'm not saying we have to blow up the house.
Vala's
But
not
it seems
even
like a
here.
waste.
Go for it.
I mean,
Who's up?
if we could always do a 1-2 punch if you wanted, like to use the Rangers to try to corral one group and then have the other.
Okay, well, let's try that. Elizabeth can cast regular, like, fireball.
Yeah, her ability.
She had all kinds of combustion shit.
Rapid spell assault is what I have written down.
Yeah, so she can.
Oh, that's
she
right,
can
yeah.
She can dual cast. So if you want her to cast multiple spells, she can. That's her thing. She doesn't exclusively have to blow up houses.
Yeah.
She is the red mage of the party, so she can dual cast.
So if the Rangers want to lure them into a kill box,
You'll say
That's
you
what I was
haven't
thinking.
used the Rangers' ability yet, which is their animal companions. So if you wanted to use those to kind of corral, I'll say if both of you want to use your actions to try and corral them and then double spell them, the one thing I'll say is there has to be a defend in there while it's happening, because that's how turn order works. But I'm good with you guys working together, and I'll just pick which one of you guys has to defend on a even or odd. You know, one of you would choose even or odd, and the one that loses gets attacked. Is that good for you?
Okay.
Okay. So, Relwyn, even or odd?
Odd.
Okay. Elizabeth, a combination of whites and ghasts are coming after you. Go ahead and let's start off with the Rangers. Make your roll to corral things. So that'll be the lot, full +10 to that roll.
Okay, 23.
Okay, cool. All right. So the animal companions of the Rangers are able to kind of corral them into an area, and suddenly they are in a dead end alley with Elizabeth. And all of these creatures are looking at Elizabeth like she is a meal. And Elizabeth is just kind of standing there going, oh, I don't know. I need a defense roll from Elizabeth first, and then we'll have her do her dual spell.
Okay, so. Mm, that's a 2, so total of 3, I believe.
All right. So as she's sitting there, suddenly these creatures just start coming at her, and she does her best to defend, but she does get attacked pretty badly. So she takes another 2 hit points of damage.
She's gonna lose me.
She is now surrounded. Vincent sees her in trouble and starts running, but realizes there's no way he can get there into the time. Elizabeth, you feel this kind of surge of magical energy. You feel yourself connecting to the weave itself. What 2 spells do you see her using? Just pick whatever ones you want.
Obviously, Fireball will be
Okay.
one of them. Doesn't she have that one, like, she created, like, the sphere of fire?
Incendiary Cloud is the one that she used on you
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
Which is
So,
basically
yeah.
Fireball on steroids.
Yeah, she'll use that one to, like, push, give herself some space,
And
and then Fireball.
she could teleport too.
She could, but
Well, how about this? Why don't you go ahead and make your roll? Full plus 10, and I'll give you an extra plus 2 for the 20 that he rolled. So grand total
Okay.
plus 12. Which means effectively, unless you get a nat 1, you're going to succeed. And depending on how high you succeed.
nat 20.
All right, so Elizabeth, seeing all this happening, she's got these bite wounds and things like that. You see her like full Dumbledore. She starts kind of swirling this rod, and you start seeing this incendiary cloud start forming around her. The creatures closest to her start kind of burning away as she goes, and she starts kind of using it to corral them into one tiny little spot as this incendiary cloud gets bigger and bigger, and suddenly they're all surrounded by this fire, and they're going, and she just kind of turns, points her wand, and goes, bye-bye. This fireball explodes, incinerates all of them, and all that is left is ash. The rain continues to fall. As Elizabeth stands there with kind of open wounds, breathing heavily, the rain feels good. It starts to wash off some of the soot from the fire, some of the blood from the attacks. But before that can happen, we return because there's one person that's missing. Argenta,
Yep.
you are locked in a box with a death dragon.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
He's locked in here with me. She's a gunner, so the thing that she does, she can be in melee and fire normally.
Mm-hmm.
So she sort of pulls out both pistols, and when she reloaded, the first 2 shots in each are with shocker bullets.
Okay.
And she'll slide underneath the dragon's stomach and just unload up into it.
Okay. The full thing minus the fire, so +9. Go ahead and make your roll.
27.
27. Claim your victory. Describe your kill.
So the 4 shots ring out, and it's because she just wants one of them to affect it. And when the dragon locks up paralyzed, she releases the shadow and it falls.
Okay. So, this creature is thrashing around, and unfortunately for you, because you're in a 30 by 30 box with a creature that almost fills it, you are having to dodge every chance you get, and it's just getting really bad. You know that you have your shock shots loaded up, but you're trying to find a point where you can get the shot off, and you keep going. Finally, the dragon comes forward, and you can just see these massive rotting teeth coming forward to you, and you kind of fall backwards to go underneath it, and you realize you're in the perfect position. So you let yourself kind of fall, and as soon as you get close to the ground, you kind of kick off and use the momentum to slide you forward, unleashing the shots. As you go and kind of dodge around the tail, you see the creature itself is now paralyzed with these shots. You see lightning kind of going all across it. You slowly walk around to the front, kind of tap it on the nose with one of the guns, and then the shadow box disappears, and you guys watch as this lightning prone dragon descends from the sky, crashing to the ground, and watching as its own bones kind of impale itself as it just lands there. And then from about the same area, you watch as Argenta just kind of slowly floats to the ground and kind of takes the impact into a roll, kind of gets up, holsters both of the pistols, as now there is a giant pile of viscera in the middle of this city. The rain continues to fall. The bodies in the street being slowly cleansed by nature, seemingly trying to take back its control of this world. Slowly, you start seeing people emerge from their houses. And at first, people aren't sure what to do. They see the bodies, they see the destruction that was wrought on their homes. But suddenly, you hear this: "We did it. Yeah!" And suddenly this huge eruption of cheers from the entire town. You see people start putting out the fires that were separating this city. They come forward to greet the heroes of the defense of Clausegate, lifting you all into the air, going, "Yes, we did it! We did it!" But unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. This was a new experiment. I created this kind of battle system myself. We were testing it. I think it turned out pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it because we've got a few more surprises as we move forward. As a reminder, please remember to go get your copy of The Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder by Kiri Callaghan at any major bookseller and anywhere else you could find it. I guarantee you will have a good time with it. Otherwise, again...
Also, hopefully announcement to be coming soon when the Good Time Society will be having a TTRPG themed game around said book.
Yes. So, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.